Hey everybody, and welcome back to PlanCo Spotlights. Today I'm afraid you're gonna have to put up with me, Silvarret, and my non-existent driving skills as I try to showcase this track ride, which is one of the unique go-kart tracks that has been sent to us. And this was submitted to us by GamerBoyYT, and he has the following description about the project. Race with your go-karts through the Red Rock Valley, a deserted western mountain with cactuses and small lakes. This contains less than 2k pieces and is a real eye-catcher. Now, I'm gonna provide some links to his Steam page, to this asset, as well as his YouTube channel, because as you might be able to tell from his name, he has a YouTube channel, but as I just found out, if you look up GamerBoyYT, you get an astronomical amount of different channels. So you can find all of that in the description of this video, as well as always, the links to special effect, the cause to which this whole channel is dedicated. Now, anyway, let's move on to the creation itself, and I have to put just a quick word of caution over here at the beginning of the video that I kind of suck, oops, that's the wrong button, that I kind of suck at making go-kart tracks. I'm not too knowledgeable about them in general. I've only tried it once, I think, in real life, and I've never tried to build one myself in the game. But I am pretty knowledgeable about scenery, and overall this is just a really great looking ride when it comes to the scenery. I think all of the rock work looks very good, has a very good use of all kinds of different rocks in different sorts of positions, shapes and rotations to make sure that everything looks very natural. And what I actually really like about it as well is that it builds this very small, miniature, but still very realistic looking natural setting. So everything looks a little bit larger than it really is, it kind of seems. It really has the feeling of a road running through a desert landscape with all of these mountains, even though it's all on a very small scale. So that's something that I really like about this build. What I also quite like is the layout itself. It is very compact, and it really uses the space quite well by just kind of twisting in and out of itself and having all of these different bridges. Lots of really great interaction. I think it's very useful if you're building a go-kart track to make sure that you have that interaction with not just the scenery, but also the track itself, and I think this achieves it really well. And aside from that, I like the little touches to it, like all of the signs to say which curve you're going to have to take and where you're going to have to go with your go-kart, so that people who suck at this stuff like me might not have that many issues with this. So yeah, it's a pretty simple blueprint, but I think overall it works out quite well. Especially since it has a western theme, but it's not really directed in any theme in particular. Let me just pause the game for a second there, I'll get back to that in a minute. But I think this fits really well in any park that you're using this environment in. I think you could tell that when you get the whole desert background with this, it always kind of fits in. It blends in really well with the environment of this red map, and it doesn't really come with any scenery that's too specific to any theme. So I think whenever you're building a park, be it a scenario or a sandbox park, and you're using this kind of map, I think this fits in really well, just by being an overall kind of simplistic blueprint. In a good way, that is. Now there's something that I wanted to try with this showcase, and that is ultimately going to end up being a complete nightmare. But since there's this cheat in Planet Coaster that allows you to take control of one of the karts, by calling the ride itself Bollard and getting into the POV view, I figured it would be a little bit of a wasted opportunity if I wouldn't, just look at the track from an aerial perspective, but also try and look at it from a POV view and how it feels to drive around in the track. So with that said, I kind of want to get into this thing, but do keep in mind that I am really bad at racing games in general, and also I have to say the controls are a little bit clunky. It's just a cheat in the game and more of a fun nod than really any part of the gameplay. But still, I think this is something amazing about Planet Coaster, and I think it's still such an awesome addition into the game, so let's head into this thing and see how this track actually drives when we get into it. So basically you just use the arrow keys or WASD to move around, and one of the things which I've definitely noticed is that you have to watch out not to go too fast or you start slipping like that. Yeah, that's basically what happened. So now I totally lost my first place, and you can tell I am absolutely horrible at this. I might start playing some Eurobeat every time I manage to slip. That's pretty cool. Oh, there we go. Brilliant save by me. I'm absolutely great at this. Actually, the game automatically just kind of puts you back in position when you slip like that, so it's not the end of the world to do it, but you lose a lot of time when you do it. I think I'm still in 3rd place, so that's not too bad. And I think you can tell that none of the curves are really too tight. It's always challenging, but between all the curves you always have these straight sections as well, so it's never really too difficult. But I think in the end I got a 2nd or 3rd place there. I'm not entirely sure what place it was. I'm also not sure what the guy in front of me is doing with his head right there. But I'm pretty much stuck behind this guy now. But yeah, overall that wasn't even too bad of a race. I think I only slipped like 2 times. And overall it's not too difficult of a map, I think. Like I said, it does have some of those very tight turns, but there's always these straight spaces between them. The only problem is, sometimes you can really get into some trouble if you manage to slip before one of these spaces where you go up quite a bit, because there is a huge amount of difference in elevation across the map in this blueprint, so yeah, that's always kind of difficult. But considering that this is only a 2000 piece blueprint and it fits on such a tiny space, this really feels like a proper go-kart track, which is pretty insane. That's one of the things which I actually like about this track, is just how small it really is, but how large and complete the circuit manages to feel. So that's about all I have to say about this blueprint. GamerBoyYT, I think you did a great job making this slightly minute details in the go-kart track and making sure that it fits in a theme without being too directed in any certain approach. Which makes this a super usable and handy blueprint, I think, whenever you have a park in this kind of theme, no matter if it's a scenario or sandbox. So yeah, I think you did a great job on this track, and even me as an ultimate go-karting noob manages to get out of this track alive, so great job on that as well. And with that said, I would like to end this video by thanking you, the viewer, for watching this video. And if you want to know anything else about this blueprint, or download it yourself, or check out special effects, you can find all of the links in the description, as always. Thanks for watching, it's been a pleasure to make this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next showcase.